A big PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 RPG will finally be getting its release date this week. This is actually something that I've noticed a lot of you guys in the comments section bring up, and that might be because of the mystery surrounding the console release of Disco Elysium. Well, a lot of that mystery is going to be unraveled this week as we get the release date, and this is a game that if you don't know about it, gotta keep it on your radar. Came out on PC back in 2019, one of my favorite games of the last few years. It is such a tremendous RPG, and we'll talk about that, and very excited for a new audience to get a chance to play that game. Also, we got updates on a couple of other games. Clang 2 has added a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series version. This will be launching in Q3 of 2021. Pretty cool music rhythm game here, so we'll talk about that. And a horror game coming up very soon. A lot of horror games, lower key horror titles dropping ahead of Resident Evil Village, which is kind of cool. Evil Inside, we'll talk that at the end of this video. But yes, Disco Elysium, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 release date reveal coming this week. Confirmation comes via the game's official Discord page, where Mick has reassured fans once more, he said, also chiming in to say that you'll get a release date this week. Simple and to the point, good to see, because Disco Elysium is a game that when we first heard that it was coming to consoles, I was very excited, because this is a tremendous game that's probably catered more so to a PC audience, being an isometric RPG, very much narrative driven, a lot of decision making and things of that nature, but the story is so compelling and you have so many different routes you can go, and the game lends itself to being very, very replayable. Released at $40 back in October of 2019, and it was received incredibly well. Just to give you guys an idea, 28,000 Steam reviews, 94% positive. That's very positive reception as Steam does it. That's literally 1% away from being overwhelmingly positive, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Metacritic, it's got a 91. GameSpot gave it a 10 out of 10. IGN gave it a 9.6. PC Gamer 9.2. The game was just super, super well received. And I remember when I initially played it, I didn't even know about the game prior to it coming out, and then it came out, and then it took the PC world by storm, and a lot of people were talking about it, and then I was like, okay, I gotta check this game out. Awesome art style, love the visual style in this game. Presentation is excellent, and yeah, while it's not like the most action-heavy game in the world, it's not about that. It's about being kind of a slower-paced, methodical RPG, and I thought from that standpoint, they delivered something super, super incredible, and I'm excited, and hopefully this will open up an avenue for the game to get more of an attention, more attention, I should say, just because, again, it came out on PC, and then a lot of people checked it out, and I felt like it was relatively popular, but I feel like a game like this, like, a lot more people should really know about it, because it is a tremendous RPG with some of the best writing that I've seen out of a video game. Like, if you want to talk about a game with superb writing, Disco Elysium, the attention to detail in this game is just superb, and I cannot say enough good things about it. Hopefully it will be out, within, let's say, the first 2/3 of 2021. This would be a game that I think could create a lot of buzz in this earlier portion of the year, just because, there's not a lot of stuff coming out. There's some stuff that is picking up in April, May, June, and probably through the rest of the year, but I think Disco Elysium, if it comes out anytime soon, man, I think people will play it, and people will realize how good of a game it was, because I remember when it came out on PC, and everybody was just talking about it. The talk kind of went away after a while, but if it comes out on console and a lot more people check it out, I think people will realize this as one of the best RPGs that maybe they haven't played, and it was just a great time. It's available on Steam. You can get it on GOG already. Not too difficult to run if you already want to jump in on it on PC, but yeah, would give that a strong recommendation. And if you are waiting for the console release, then when that does come to fruition, I believe it's going to be on Nintendo Switch as well, so you'll be able to play it on there. But a lot of reason to be excited about that. I'll give you guys an update on that when we do hear about it. Okay, moving on from that, a couple of other things I do want to note. Rhythm action game in Clang 2 will be launching for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series alongside its previously announced PlayStation 4, X1, Switch, and PC release in Q3 of 21. Now, to be perfectly honest, this was a game that was not on my radar until this PlayStation 5 version was announced, and unfortunately, I'm pretty big into music rhythm games. I've been getting more and more into music rhythm titles. DJ Max has been one of those titles that when quarantine started, man, I was all over DJ Max for like way more hours a day than I should have been, but I've become more and more fond of the music rhythm genre, and Clang 2, just looking at it being an action-oriented rhythm game, I am definitely excited about this. It's noted to be a psychedelic rhythm action game blindly pursuing full immersion with dance music through high-speed combat. So a cool combination here. Seems like more games are going for different types of approaches to music rhythm games, and this one looks like something so up my alley. 30 levels of intense EDM action playable at both normal and fast speed for extra challenge, semi-procedural combat system ensuring the same track never plays exactly the same, several boss types gradually changing the rules of engagement, music by the legendary composer Blind and other talented artists such as James Landino, RCN, Natos, Steven Asilo, City Girl, and much more. Techno-Greek aesthetic is inspired by synthwave, musical symbolism, and Greek sculpture, playable with numerous control inputs such as mouse, gamepad, drawing tablet, and touch. When I see the game in motion, definitely I can see how it was designed for touch controls, but hopefully it works well on PlayStation 5 as well. EDM as a whole is something that I've been getting more into recently, so it's definitely not my forte in terms of being super into that kind of music, but a lot of music rhythm games are adopting that kind of music and utilizing that, and they're doing it pretty well. And honestly, listening to more of that music in video games is what's made me more into the genre in general. There is a demo available for Clang 2 over on Steam, so you can check that out if you're interested. And again, the game itself will be out Q3 of 21. Lastly, do want to mention that Evil Inside, a first-person psychological horror game, is due out on March 25th. A lot of horror games coming out. A couple horror titles this week, obviously. Everybody's looking forward to Resident Evil, but now we have another one in Evil Inside. Again, a first-person horror title after the death of his mother and the arrest of his father for it. Mark decides to contact her using the spiritual board, but it fades away, and here is when it all begins. Mark will face his greatest fears to discover the truth. Another super eerie horror title. It notes, you sit on the couch, the situation overcomes you. In a very short time, your life has taken a 180 turn almost without realizing it. You live alone, in charge of your little brother. You go to the kitchen, a creak, the light blinks suddenly. You are alone, or so you think. To all this, it continues to haunt you. Not know the truth. There is nothing clear in this whole story. Something does not add up. Another horror title, you know, there's so many coming out that I feel like it's a good thing for people that are super into horror games, but you know, it's going to be hard to play absolutely all of them. But again, with games like this, always add them to your wish list. Sometimes it's down the line if they do go on sale, or if you do want to pick them up day one, more power to you. There's not a lot of stuff coming out right now in March, so stuff like this is going to get a little bit more attention than it probably would have had in, let's say, a busy fall period. So actually not a bad idea to drop games like this right now. But that's going to wrap up this one. Hopefully we get a definitive date for Disco Elysium this week. Super excited about that. And if you are not familiar with the game, look into it. Check out some of the, I would say, trailers. I mean, the gameplay isn't really going to sell you on the game. It's really about getting invested into the narrative, and Disco Elysium does that in a great way. Clang 2 dropping Q3, PS5, Xbox Series, pretty much every other major platform, and then Evil Inside dropping on March 25th. That's going to wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.